So today I'm going to be checking out a new keyboard sent over by Banggood, and it's the Ajazz AK816. It's a 75% keyboard with a knob, really similar to the Epomaker TH80 and the previous FancyTech 081. So without further ado, let's check out what we get in the box. So on the top of the box, we can see the outline of the keyboard, and we can see it's a 3-mod HotSwap mechanical keyboard AK816. And the version I have right here is the black version with the Gateron yellow Pro switches. So included in the box is an address user manual for this keyboard, and it includes a lot of things, so you can actually pause if you want to take a look at all the functions and instructions for the keyboard. Besides that, you also get a 1.8 meter braided cable right here. It's a Type A to Type C connection, and it is gold plated and looks really nice. It's also a pretty good material. And you also get a really nice 2-in-1 switch and keycap puller. Now let's check out the Ajazz AK816. So taking a look at the keyboard, the first thing you guys can notice is the 75% layout in this dark colorway. It looks pretty nice, and you have your separated arrow keys and functions on the right, and of course the top right corner you have the knob. And yes, it also includes this slide feature right here, which is really similar to the other 75% keyboards. And this is the side profile of the keyboard. I will admit it is a little bit flat, but don't worry because there's actually adjustable feet included. So this is the higher height, and you can also use a low height if you just want to increase it by a bit. Really nice that this is included in the case. And this is what the side with the knob looks like, and you guys can see the keycaps are a little bit weird. It's the MDA profile keycaps, which are a little bit sculpted and flat at the same time. And as you guys can see from the front and the top of the keyboard, the whole thing is made out of this black ABS plastic. It has a little bit of a matte texture to it, and on the top you can see the Type-C connection port a little bit off-centered, and tucked in right here we can see is the 2.4 GHz dongle. Really nice that they have a place included for it, so you won't lose it easily. And this is the back of the keyboard, where you can see more of this ABS plastic, and it does appear to have a little bit of residue or fingerprints on it if you have sweaty hands like me. But overall I think it's pretty good. It doesn't really attract any fingerprints whatsoever. And you can see the 4 non-slip feet right here and the 2 adjustable feet. And right here you can also see the 2 switches. So you have the 3-mod switcher for 2.4 GHz, USB and Bluetooth. And if you're using Mac, you can also use this right here. So you just switch it to Mac mode. And by turning on the switch on the back, this is what the RGB looks like. It does appear to be pretty bright. I'm filming with quite bright lights right here, but you still can see it. But I think these keycaps look a little bit weird with the RGB, as you guys can see. But overall really nice, and you can see the light up feature on the triangle indicator right here. So taking a closer look at the keycaps included in the keyboard, these are some MDA profile keycaps, and they're made out of PPT, and the printing on them is die sub. Overall, I really like the texture. It's more of a rough texture with this print on it, and the print is pretty sharp and nice. But I don't really like the shape of it. The MDA profile is a little weird for me. And I do have the dark theme keycaps right here. They are called the Rock Fantasy keycaps, so they come with these red accents on these kind of grayish and darkish color. Thickness wise, they are pretty thick. I think around 1.5mm to 1.8mm, and they do provide a little bit of a deep talk when typing. Moving on to the switches included, these are the Gateron Pro line of switches, and the ones included here are the yellow switch. And of course these switches are a linear type of switch. They have a travel of 4mm and an actuation force of 50 grams. And you can see the yellow stem of the switch right here, and it does have a transparent top housing and a white bottom housing. And if you're wondering, these already come factory loop because it's the Pro series, so Gateron actually loops them from the factory, and it's really smooth out of the box. And on the back we can see it is 3-pin HotSwap, and you can see a cutout for the LED RGB on top. Overall, my experience with the Pro series of switches from Gateron is really good. They appear to be pretty consistently looped, and they're really smooth again out of the box. Moving on to the stabilizers in the keyboard, these are some normal plate mounted stabs which are white in color, and taking a closer look at them, they appear to be factory loop, pretty good as well. They are really smooth, but I would say that one downside is that they're actually not clipped, so the feet on these stabilizers are not flat, and they will provide a little bit of rattling or a little bit of noise when typing. But overall, it's already really good that they appear to be looped from the factory. And as stated before, the PCB is HotSwap, so you can actually see it's 5-pin HotSwap, so it would support 3 and 5-pin switches, and it is a north-facing PCB, so the RGB is on top, so you might have some interference with cherry profile keycaps if you want to switch them out. And Ajazz does claim that this is a gasket mounted keyboard, but from the looks of it, it is kind of like a sandwich mount, but the flex on it is just very minimal. I don't really count this as a gasket mounted keyboard. But one thing I can confirm is that there's actually pour foam included in this keyboard, so there's some plate foam in between the plate and the PCB, and inside the case there's also some pour foam for the case. So far everything seems to be pretty nice, and this Ajazz AK816 does appear to be like a fully modded keyboard, so I'm really curious to hear how it sounds like. So let's move on to the typing sound test to see if this keyboard performs. So that was the typing sound test, and I would say that my analysis was correct. So the stabilizers which are unclipped actually rattle from time to time, so you will hear this kind of ticking or rattling sound when typing. And the switches which are already looped sound really great and are really smooth, and the pour foam in the keyboard does help with sound dampening, so it has like a low profile kind of talk to it. Overall, it's a pretty good package for a keyboard, but the only two downsides I see is the pretty weird keycap profile and the unclipped stabilizers. Other than that, everything included is pretty good. So if you're interested in getting the Ajazz AK816, you can check out the links in the description below, and I want to say thank you to Banggood for sending over this keyboard. So that is it for this video guys. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you didn't like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I have even more content like this coming very soon, and as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye guys.